Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me for one more episode of Heat Press Nation Live. Well, not one more, but this week it's one more, right? Because if I say one more, it sounds kind of like it's the last one. It's not the last one, don't worry. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. My name is Jared, and I am like one of the Heat Press people here. We got a great team here for you guys, but I'm here on camera today, and we are talking about why Sawgrass is the #1 choice in sublimation and printing. But before we get started, first of all, I want to welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm opening up the comments here. Got my trusty iPad here with all the comments. So let's see what everybody's saying. If you guys want to say where you're tuning in from, that's cool. If you see me glistening today, it's because we're doing sublimation, and I have my trusty, why would I touch that? I have my trusty Black Series 16-inch by 24-inch heat press, and this puppy is set to 400 degrees. If you want to know more about any of the products that we're talking about today, including this heat press, the paper, and the sublimation printers from Sawgrass, do me a favor, head on over to heat.press/live. One more time, that's heat.press/live. Not only are you going to find this stream, but you're also going to find all the products that we're using today. You're going to see links to everything. If you have any questions, you could drop them in the comments below. I'll be answering. I got your questions right here. I'll be answering them live. And then we also have my pal Ronnie. He's going to be helping us live. Sorry, my iPad. Do you ever get kicked out of everything on your devices? Then you have to sign into everything at like the most inopportune moment. Anyways, I'm gonna get this fixed right now. But anyways, it's so good to see everybody here today. So today we are talking about Sawgrass. Why Sawgrass? And I got 2 pages of notes here today. So so we're gonna talk real quick about why Sawgrass is the #1 choice. I already mentioned if you like this heat press or the printers, anything we're showing you, heat.press/live. But do me another favor before we dive into today's topic. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can click that like button, and click that subscribe button. Like and subscribe to the channel. You see it right there on screen. If you're watching on Facebook, maybe you could head on over to YouTube, like and subscribe when you get the chance. You want to head on over there. And then don't forget to like us on Facebook. We also have a Facebook group that we really love. You'll find my pal Ronnie in there. I'm dropping in there from time to time. And you have other HPN staff members moderating this Facebook group. Now, what's really cool about that is that you have info from the professionals here at HPN, but honestly, the community there is so awesome. It's so cool to see like someone will ask a question, and before any of us pros, I say pros, right? You guys are pros too. And before any of the Heat Press Nation pros can answer the question, we actually have industry pros who have been doing this stuff for years, sometimes even decades, and they're sharing their really great knowledge. So if you want to be a part of that community, you can head on over to Facebook groups, look for the Heat Press Nation Creators Group, or right there, you're going to see it on screen. You can go to heat.press/FB group. One more time, that's heat.press/FB group. And lastly, you could text the word HEAT to the number 20198. Yes, I said that right, 20198. We have lots of great stuff going on here at Heat Press Nation. So much cool stuff. And sometimes it's like hard to keep, what's new? When's this sale happening? When's this coming? Sign up for the text updates. You'll get notified anytime we have a special live event, anytime we have a special sale running, all that stuff. You can text the word HEAT to 20198. Okay, again, if you see me glistening, you guys, I'm standing next to a 400-degree heat press. So I apologize if you see me, referencing my little handkerchief here. It gets a little warm in heat press land, all right? You guys know how it is. So one thing that I love about Sawgrass is that it's just, I guess the first thing I should just say is that with Sawgrass, it's just like you're not settling for anything. You could be assured that you're getting the best possible machine in the industry for your sublimation needs. So there's a few things that we do want to talk about today regarding Sawgrass. We get these questions a lot, like, well, why should I choose Sawgrass? Hey, Heat Press Nation, I noticed you guys only carry Sawgrass printers. What's up with that? Do you hate us? Do you hate the rest of us? And the answer is no, we don't hate anybody. We love all of you guys, all of our creators, whether you're using Sawgrass or not. But if you're maybe on the fence about which sublimation printer to choose, and maybe you've already said, okay, I want a Sawgrass, but I don't know which heat press to pick. Do I pick the SG500 or the SG-1000? Don't worry, we're going to be covering that today. So just really quick, a few things that we do want to cover are the printer features. The biggest thing I can think of is Sawgrass, the SG-500 and 1000. These are actually designed for sublimation. So that's going to be a big step from a lot of the other conversion printers. A conversion printer is a regular inkjet printer that instead of putting inkjet ink in there, you buy special sublimation ink, put that in there. The reason why that can be problematic, and it's not always, again, we're not bashing on other systems. The reason, well, there's a few reasons why we're going to cover that, but a Sawgrass printer is actually built for sublimation. So that's where you have the real main advantage is this printer, if you buy it, and we're going to talk about warranty in a little second, but if you buy it, they make the sublimation ink for the sublimation printer, and so you know you're getting into a system that it's doing what it's designed to do. Another big feature about Sawgrass that we love, that you're not going to find on any other printer, is automatic self-maintenance. Now, automatic self-maintenance, so with any sublimation printer you're working with, any sublimation printer, you're going to have to print every 1 to 3 days, depends on the printer. You're going to have to print every 1 to 3 days to keep the nozzles on your print heads clean, keep them clean. If the printer goes too long without printing, sometimes the ink, the residual ink can dry up and clog those print nozzles, resulting more commonly in like banding, where you'll see little stripes in your prints. And then if it's not taken care of, if your printer's gone too long, sometimes the ink could even dry up and clog your lines, meaning you won't be able to get any sort of print at all. So Sawgrass printers, they're amazing. As long as you leave it powered on and plugged in, it'll perform its own self-maintenance. Meaning that if the printer detects that it's gone too long in between prints, it's going to automatically put a little bit of ink through those print heads to keep them nice and fresh and ready to print. So if you go on a 2-week vacation to the Bahamas, well, don't worry. When you get back from vacation, your printer's still going to be there, ready to rock and roll. Another thing that I love is it's not just a printer, and we're going to talk about this more. It's a complete system. So you also have the print management system from Sawgrass, meaning that your finished product on the garment is going to look as close as possible to the original image on your screen. Now, that's a big deal for a lot of reasons, but mainly like if you're printing a picture of somebody's wedding, for example, you're putting a wedding picture on a coffee mug, if that bride, she spent a lot of time picking what shade of red she wanted for her accessories, right? So you want to make sure you nail it as close as possible, and using the Sawgrass print management system is a really great way to do that. So really quick here, I'm going to check in on the questions. We got a couple hellos. Where's this? We got Ashley saying, hey, hey. We got Pam from Colorado. Marquita saying hello. We got William from Florida. Twyla from Georgia. So good to have everybody with us today. I'm going to check to see if I could bring up our Facebook comments here. Looking around for my Facebook people. And I think, oh, there it is. There we go. Here's everybody. We got Michael saying, what's up from PA? Hey, Michael. Good to see you. Oh, man. Heat Print is saying, ooh, and my Spanish is terrible. He's saying, ¿Cuándo harán algo en español? Like, when are we going to do stuff in Spanish? And you know what? If my Spanish was any better, I guarantee you I would. I'm sorry, my Spanish is horrible. And so I'm not fluent enough to talk about this stuff on camera. I do apologize about that. Let me see here. Missy saying, I'm so glad to join. I've been looking to get into sublimation machine. Oh, very cool. Well, I'm glad that's the topic today. Brittany says, the self-maintenance makes all the difference. Donna says, love the Sawgrass, but the ink costs, LOL. It does a great job. We're actually going to be talking about that in a few minutes. So if you guys have any questions, again, I just want to check in. Any questions about what we're doing? I do have a live demo. So really quick, I'm going to skip ahead. Today, our live demo, we're going to show you the difference in maximum print sizes. So I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit just to give you guys a preview. The SG-500 prints up to 8.5 by 14. SG-1000 prints up to 13 by 19 with the bypass tray. And today we're going to be doing a live demo in just a few minutes showing both of the maximum print sizes. So I have a print here that's 13 by 19. I have a print that's 8.5 by 14. And we're actually going to apply those to some t-shirts. So we're gonna get to that in just a second. But really quick, today we're talking about why Sawgrass, why do we love it? I've already shared a few of my top examples. If you're a Sawgrass user and you love your Sawgrass machine, do me a favor, drop some love in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you have to say about your printers. So at home, I have the Sawgrass SG400, and I've had that for a few years now, and I love it. So classic Sawgrass user here, and I love it. There's a few things that we just want to cover. So if you're kind of on the fence, you want to know what sets Sawgrass apart from other sublimation printers. One thing I love about Sawgrass is Sawgrass Creative Studio. So if you're just getting started and you have zero design experience, you want to get a Sawgrass, because with every Sawgrass printer, you're going to get free access to Sawgrass Creative Studio. I've heard it before, and I guarantee I'm going to hear it again, that, oh man, Photoshop, I'm so terrible at Photoshop, I don't have time to learn Photoshop, blah, 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 blah. Like, hey, respect. You want to operate within the realm of your abilities. I would encourage everybody to learn how to use Photoshop. But if you're just getting started and you're ready to rock and roll, you're ready to get going with your business, here's what's cool about Creative Studio. They already have a ton of templates on hand and ready to go. So you log into Sawgrass Inc., that's sawgrassink.com, and you click on the creative, well, of course, set up your account, then go to Creative Studio, and they have lots of templates for coffee mugs, t-shirts. They have blank canvas sizes and common sizes. And here's what I love. They have tons of backgrounds, graphics, and fonts that are free for personal and commercial use. So even if you're going to be selling stuff, you could use Sawgrass Creative Studio, which to me, that's really huge. That's awesome. You don't have to worry about, the boogeyman coming to get you on Etsy because you used some artwork you shouldn't have. With Sawgrass, it's all licensed. You get a pretty hefty library for free. And they have what they call, I believe, their Platinum program, which you get even more. With the paid Platinum program, you can get additional artwork, graphics, fonts, etc. Very, very cool. You could also upload your own graphics and designs and use their templates in Sawgrass Creative Studio. So again, Sawgrass Creative Studio is a huge asset, especially if you're just getting started and you're not too keen on design. Maybe you have good ideas, but you need like cool fonts and cool graphics. Sawgrass Creative Studio is a really big advantage. And then not the last thing that I want to cover, but as we kind of wind down toward, I know you guys want to see the demos. I'm excited to do the demos today. I do want to mention this, quality support. All right. Typically, when you're converting a sublimation printer, by doing so, you're not using the stock inks, and you're using third-party inks. You're going to void that printer's warranty. And if you run into trouble, who are you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters. If you have trouble printing, the colors aren't coming out right, there's really not many places to go for support. Of course, you can go online. There's lots of support groups. But if you want to talk to a professional on the phone, it's almost non-existent. With Sawgrass, you get quality support. In fact, when you buy a new Sawgrass printer, you get a free 60-minute onboarding session with a Sawgrass professional. That's incredible. Of course, you want to, after you purchase, while it's on its way shipping to you, you want to get in touch with Sawgrass, schedule that appointment for after you receive it, so that way you have a one-on-one session with the Sawgrass technician to get you set up with your printer. Really helpful, especially if you're kind of new to technology. Maybe not new to technology, but you're not that great with installing things like printers and software. They got you covered. Another thing with support is you get free lifetime technical support from 2 sources. See, here at Heat Press Nation, we back up all of our products with free lifetime technical support, and Sawgrass actually does the same. They back up their printers with free lifetime technical support. So in addition to the 2-year warranty you're gonna get on a Sawgrass printer, you can always give us a call. I work here, but my SG400 is about 4 or 5 years old. Again, I work here, so I can just go to the next building and talk to my bros. But if I wasn't working here, I could still call in and get free technical support because I bought my Sawgrass printer from HPN. And that's what I love about, honestly, that's what I love about working here. We really back up our products. In addition, you have Sawgrass Academy, which has a lot of great training programs organized to make you the best sublimator you could possibly be. And then your pals here at Heat Press Nation, we got lots of videos, just like the one you're watching right now. And we also have very specific tutorials on how to sublimate tons of item. So speaking about how to sublimate things, let's head on over to the table. I'm gonna show you guys what we're working on today. So check this out. These are the maximum print sizes. I always print 2 of each because I'm dumb and sometimes I mess things up. So check this out. I'm gonna try to squeeze these into the shot here. There we go. So actually, I'll just do one at a time. This is 13 inches by 19 inches. Depending on, it's massive, all right? By the way, I got my trusty Sawgrass SG 1000 right here. This, on the other hand, this is, and I'm turning around to see it on the monitor, this is 8.5 by 14. So a lot of times we'll ask, hey, do I need the SG 1000? Do I need the SG 500? And the answer to that is gonna be, well, it depends on how big you need to print. And I get that question all the time too, like, hey, well, how big do I need to print? You tell me. And we're gonna actually give you some real life examples today. So again, if you get the SG 500, I'm sorry, this is 8.5 by 14. I don't have the world's biggest hands, so these are not great for scale. But here, I don't even have a phone on me. Jeez Louise, I have nothing. For scale, what are we gonna do? I can't, here we go. Do I have here we go, I have like a, nope. All of my cards have the numbers printed on them. Oh, here we go. All right, for scale, here's a Costco card. I'm trying to find a way to show you guys scale, right? So this is a Costco card, right? This is 8.5 inches wide by 14 inches long. That's really big. To just kind of go from there, look how that fits on a 13 by 19. That's, again, Costco card for scale. That's really, really big. You may not ever need 13 by 19, but you might. So what we're gonna do today is I printed these up, and we are great pals over at Silky Socks. By the way, if you guys missed that episode last week, you missed out on a lot. This is a large t-shirt, very common. I have a t-shirt shop that I run on the side. Large is I've been selling mostly large and extra large. I'm sure you guys have your own best sellers. This is a large t-shirt. And this, my friends, this is mine. This is a triple extra large t-shirt. This is a big boy t-shirt. The shirt I'm wearing right now is also a triple X t-shirt. Your boy is a large man. I feel like, I don't know if you guys ever watched SpongeBob, where Patrick goes, I'm a big man, Sponge, a big, big man. And that's how I feel sometimes when I'm buying t-shirts. So this is a large, and what we're gonna do is I wanted to kind of give you guys a visual example. So this is how an 8.5 by 14 inch shirt looks, t-shirt, I should say, sorry. 8.5 by 14 inch transfer looks on a large t-shirt. It's honestly, this is like the perfect size. I don't really see any need to go wider, although you could. Now, if you put a 13 inch by 19 inch graphic on this shirt, that would be really massive, because don't forget, when someone's wearing a t-shirt, the chest is only about like this wide. So this section actually wraps around the side. So this is gonna appear curved. It's just way too big. I mean, I guess if you're going for like an artistic thing, you're trying to be really cool, and you want just like a super jumbo graphic, I suppose you could put a 13 inch by 19 inch transfer onto your large t-shirt. Now here's where things change a little bit. This is a triple extra large t-shirt. And as somebody who wears a triple extra large t-shirt, I can tell you that while this 8.5 by 14 inch will look cool, it's not horrible, it's just a little bit too small. Most guys, and I'm gonna show you a little secret for our plus size gentlemen, most guys, they like a lot of chest coverage. You could read between the lines if you want to on that. Most guys like to have a more full chest coverage on their large t-shirts. Again, this is a triple extra large t-shirt. So while this looks cool, it'll look cool if I'm wearing like a jacket or a sweater or something over that. If I just want the plain t-shirt, I'm gonna want something with a lot of chest coverage. And that's where this 13-inch by 19-inch graphic really comes into play. This is something that not only would I wear, I'm actually going to wear. So I'm excited to make these transfers. I'm going to take this big XXX t-shirt home. This is my new t-shirt. So let's head on back over to the press. By the way, if you're curious about the products that you're seeing here today, you can head on over to our website, heat.press/live. And we have all that stuff here. We have this heat press. I have the Black Series 16-inch by 24-inch heat press. I could have used a 16 by 20, but what the heck? We got the 24 here. Let's do it. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be loading these t-shirts sideways because we're working with some kind of big transfers here. So I'm going to do my best to center the t-shirt like this. This is not a class on how to center your t-shirts properly. I can almost guarantee you that these will not be perfectly centered. And if you want to know, do I wish that I had my signature series with the slide-out drawer? Yep, I do indeed. So I'm going to want this to be flat. I don't want any creases. I don't want any marks. I'm actually going to go behind. So it's like a criminal sin to walk in front of the camera. So I don't want to walk in front of the camera. Okay, and then by the way, speaking of my buddy Donish from Silky Socks, Donish, you left your lint roller here, man. So thanks, free lint roller. Nah, Donish is my buddy, and I guess I owe him a lint roller. All right, so get a new lint roller. You always want to lint roll your t-shirts, and I think we talked about it when he was here. So the way sublimation works is that the ink turns into a gas dye when you heat press it. And that dye, sometimes we have this thing what we call outgassing. Sometimes that gas dye, it goes out, and any little piece of lint that's on your garment, it actually picks up that gas dye and it'll re-imprint in a separate area. So if you've ever done sublimation and you have weird little pink and blue pieces of lint in your final product, it's probably because you didn't lint roll your product, or it was dirty, which is very real situation. Okay, so I've prepped this. Now, here's what's cool about this particular t-shirt. I'm not going to be putting any sort of parchment paper inside the garment. This is a very, very top of the line quality sublimation t-shirt, so there's no need for that. Now, what I will need to do is put a piece of sublimation paper on top, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that this transfer is centered on the front of this t-shirt. No guarantees, because I'm kind of reaching in. If you've ever wanted to know why it's important to have a heat press with the slide-out drawer, this is why. I'm very nervous right now because I don't want to burn myself. Okay, so I got my roll of parchment paper right here. And so what we're showing by this demonstration is the maximum print size, I should say. So again, if you're working with the Sawgrass SG500, you're going to get a maximum print size of 8.5 by 14, which is what we're doing right now. If you go with the Sawgrass SG1000, you're going to get a maximum print size with the optional bypass tray, disclaimer, of 13 by 19, which we're going to show you in a minute. But first, let's knock this one out of the park. Oh no. Oh shoot. Okay, well, I just got saved, but we're going to have to put a pause on this demo for a second. So by the way, if you guys are working with the Black Series heat press, if you're working with a Black Series heat press, and I don't know if I could show you this, but on the screen here, there we go, on the screen, my temperature started to drop. If you leave your press sitting for too long, it will shut off. So this press, we fired it up before we went live, but I guess I've been talking too much. Give me just a few minutes to let this heat up, you guys. I'm so sorry. But while we do that, let me go ahead, and I got questions right here. Or hold on, where are they? There we go. I got questions right here. So let's see. Missy is asking, on the SG1000, can you still print smaller sizes? Yeah. So you could, with the SG1000, you could print everything that you could print on the, actually, let's walk over there to the SG1000 so I can show it off. So with the SG1000, you have this adjustable paper tray in the front. Now, as you'll see here, I have regular 8.5 by 11 inch paper loaded into my SG-1000. So what's cool about this one, this tray that it comes with, it expands to hold 11 by 17 inch paper. There are these tabs that you pop inside, right here. It expands, snap them back in, and then this slides left and right. So you could actually fit up to 11 by 17 inch paper in the tray that comes with the printer. So if you could still do large prints. 11 by 17 is fairly large. So, oh, sorry, yeah, we're right there. Okay, good. So then it just slides right back in. And you can even do this, cover that. I bet a lot of you guys didn't know that part slid out to protect your paper from dust. There we go. So now this, I could print up to 11 by 17 just like that. This is the tray that comes with the printer. Now the part that I don't believe you're gonna see on camera, or you can kind of see it, is back here we have what we call the bypass tray. This is a separate accessory that attaches to the back of your SG-1000, and this is what allows us to print up to 13 inches by 19 inches. It goes, you can see right here, I got my big paper loaded into the tray, and that's how it's fed into the printer. So again, if you purchase the printer by itself, you're gonna get this, of course, standard tray, which expands to 11 by 17. And then you could purchase this separately, the bypass tray. This attaches to the back of the machine and allows you to feed in your 13 by 19 inch paper, which is this massive print that we got going on over here. My press is almost up to temperature. And so we're gonna press that in just a second. Let me see if we got any other questions here. Okay. The SG-500 is, Amila is asking, also can the 500 print the 8 by 14? Yes, the 500 has a very similar tray to the 1000. Of course, it's smaller. The SG-500 is a smaller printer, but in the same way, what you're going to do is you're going to pull out the tray. There's these little tabs you can adjust, slide in and out, and that's how you'll get up to 8.5 by 14 inches on the SG-1000, which of course is going to be, so glad I printed extras. That's going to be this size right here. This is 8.5 by 14. Okay, we got any other questions here? Great questions. Keep them coming, guys. I'm loving it. We got about another 1 to 2 minutes until that press is back up to temperature. Brittany Jones is saying, I think you could print longer than 19 inches with the tray, correct? Yes, that is correct. If you could find paper longer. Yes, you could print, I believe, up to 51 inches long if you could find paper that long. So I think one of the problems is it can do it, but just sourcing the paper. For example, with the SG-500, people always ask, if I get the bypass tray, how big can I print? Well, with the SG-500, you're still going to be limited to the 8.5 width, but you could print as up to 51 inches long. The problem is our 8.5 width paper maxes out at 14 inches, 8.5 by 14. And finding 8.5 width paper in a longer length, it's tough to come by. We don't carry it, and I've had a hard time sourcing it myself. So for the SG-500, I don't really recommend the bypass tray, but for the SG-1000, which is this bigger printer here, I definitely recommend it if you want these huge 13 by 19 inch transfers. Diane Perry is asking, what is a really good t-shirt for sublimation? Oh man, I'm so glad you asked. You know what, I would recommend go to our episode, I think it was last week. We did a whole episode with our pals from Silky Socks. My buddy Donish from Silky Socks, he spent a lot of time developing what I feel is probably the best sublimation t-shirt on the market. It's very soft, feels like cotton, it's heavyweight. I'm not about to do another commercial for him. He's gonna have to pay me for that. But if you wanna know what we're using today, we are using his Silky Socks blank tees. I really love it, silkysocks.com. If I say any more, I'm gonna have to charge him. Stanley Taylor says, this is great. So is the consensus that Sawgrass is the way to go? No Epson. You know, we're not going to tell you what to do, but we're telling you why at Heat Press Station we are exclusively a Sawgrass retailer. In my opinion, and kind of what we've shared today, the pros for Sawgrass far outweigh the pros for any other printer system. And then just real quick, I know there's always the thing that comes up is the price of ink. excuse me, sorry, a little thing in my throat. The cost of ink, it really comes up. Honestly, these costs are meant to be added to the product you're selling. So you're not paying for your ink, your customers are. Like you should always, like a good business person will always factor the cost of materials, including ink, into the cost of the product sold. And with every sale, you should be putting money away for your ink. So the reality is you're not paying for your ink, your customers are. And also you want certified safe non-toxic inks, which Sawgrass is. You want Sawgrass inks, which are developed by their team of awesome scientists. We actually got to meet them. Really cool, awesome scientists here in the USA. The ink is actually manufactured here in the USA, so it's the safest sublimation ink on the market. You're also purchasing a system. When you buy Sawgrass, I talked about Creative Studio. You're buying Creative Studio. You're buying the support. You're buying that 2-year warranty. You're buying the peace of mind knowing that you could talk to a live human. Versus buying all your stuff sourced from Amazon and 100 different places. Who do you call when you have an issue? So yeah, anyways, I think my heat press is back up to temperature. I'm gonna pause the Q&A for now. And we're gonna head on over. So if you recall, my heat press is ready to rock and roll. I haven't moved anything. I hope this transfer is centered, but I got it set up. My press is almost at 400 degrees, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little bit of time. We usually press these for about at 400 degrees for 35 seconds, I think Danish said, but I'm a little short, so I'm just gonna add a few seconds. There we go. Not too much pressure on the heat press at all. By the way, I'm using my HPN Black Series 16 by 24 inch heat press. If you saw was it last week, Alex, or 2 weeks ago? Like 2? What? 1 or 2 weeks ago? 1 or 2 weeks ago, we had an episode, we had my buddy Danish from Silky Socks here. You could fit like his huge like sublimation boxers on here, the socks. I'm doing a big 13 inch by 19 inch t-shirt, which is gonna be fantastic. You're gonna see it in action. And yeah, we got this heat press rolling. Got 10 seconds left. I'm ready for you guys to see it. I pressed a sample off camera, but this one I'm gonna show you guys live just to see how rich and vibrant the colors are. And you hear that? It's the sound of money. Now, the only part of the process that we didn't show you today is the print. The print is relatively quick. Not that 13 by 19 inch is gonna take you a little time. So after, you wanna carefully remove the parchment paper. You don't want this page to shift. That's what causes ghosting. So as carefully as possible, gonna grab a corner and Band-Aid the heck out of that. And dude, do you see this? Are you guys seeing how cool this is? Hold on, I'm gonna lay it out straight so you can get a look at those colors. Cause dude, super rich, super vibrant. Look at that. Incredible. This is incredible. One thing I always say about sublimation is it's the softest transfer you will ever see. The colors are going to be more vibrant than screen print, more vibrant than DTG. There's no weight to it. Like on the inside, like I can't feel this. It's instantly soft and ready to wear. I mean, the shirt's a little warm, which might be nice in the winter. Instantly soft, instantly ready to wear, and you just print it and press it, and that's it. I love sublimation. So this is how it's gonna look. 8.5 by 14. And sorry, I'm just grabbing my other transfers here. I'm gonna leave this on camera if you guys wanna take a look. 8.5 by 14 inches on a large t-shirt, and that honestly looks great. That looks fantastic. That's a lot of coverage. We're gonna show you guys an actual wearing example. Be sure to stay tuned on our Instagram. We're gonna have some models actually put these on, not real models, but like, you know, people, humans. We're gonna put these on some humans, and you could see exactly how 8.5 by 14, how nice it looks on a large t-shirt. Honestly, if you're making large t-shirts and you're just looking to do graphics like this, 8.5 by 14, in my opinion, is more than enough size. You could even do, if you're doing like a wide, like if it's not tall, if it's wide, do 8.5 by 11 and just go wide. Perfect for standard size t-shirts. Okay, going back to the press here. All right, are you guys ready to see this big kahuna? This is a darn it. I just burnt myself. Happens to the best of us, guys. This is a 13 inch, we're going to use the 13-inch by 19-inch transfer, but this is a triple extra large t-shirt. So I'm going to come around. I want to center it. Again, I absolutely love the Black Series. Don't get me wrong. But when I'm setting up my t-shirts, I miss the slide-out drawer on my Signature Series. So what I'm doing here at the bottom is I'm kind of measuring, and you could like put your hand inside. I'm kind of measuring how much distance there is of t-shirt on this side, and then I'm going to go to this side. And I'm kind of like roughly eyeballing it, but you want that to be nice and even, because I want to wear this shirt, so I don't really want a crooked shirt. I'm going to take a little bit more time on this one. You want the collar hanging off the edge. Another thing you could do is this arm seam right here. You could just kind of measure. It's about 3.5, 4 fingers off the side, and over here it's actually about 4 fingers. So I'm going to pull it over just a little. I'm going to pull this off. Another thing you could do is you could set this up on a table. We have an adhesive spray that you could gently spray onto your transfer. And you could just, if you're heat pressed, if you don't want to like reach under or anything like that, you could just use the adhesive spray to spray it. Actually, I'm gonna go the long way. Once again, thank you, my buddy Donish, for this nice lint roller. Gonna lint roll this here. There we go. And then one more time. Make sure this is looking nice and clean. There we go. You don't really need to pre-press your polyester garments. We're gonna go straight to pressing. And now you'll see, I got my huge 13-inch by 19-inch transfer, courtesy of my SG-1000. And I'm trying to center it here. Again, you feel free to use some parchment paper. Not parchment paper, what am I saying? Adhesive spray. I don't recommend using heat tape on garments only because sometimes it leaves a little imprint, or you can kind of see where the tape was. The tape doesn't transfer any like dye or anything, but it just like leaves a little impression, and that kind of is dumb sometimes. Okay, so I really hope this is straight. We're kind of doing this as quick as possible for camera's sake. Put that down there. Gonna cover this. Now, if you're wondering what the parchment paper's for, again, because sublimation ink turns into a gas dye when you heat it up, sometimes that ink seeps out, and I don't want anything on my heating element. So I'm gonna protect it with a sheet of parchment paper. Now, again, I'm not putting any parchment paper inside the tea, because this is a high quality sublimation tea. There's no ink bleed through. So, okay, now that we're at proper temperature, I'm gonna back down my time again. And let's see how this goes. I'm excited. Okay, we got 40 seconds on the clock. I did add a few seconds because there's just so much ink on this that I don't know why. I'm just a little paranoid, sorry. Very cool. Okay, Missy is saying, when you press, does it leave the square on the shirt? Can use the cutter to cut off any extra around your image if not needed. So, oh shoot, 4 seconds. Okay, I promise I'm gonna get back to that question. By the way, one thing I do love about this press is the secondary leverage handle. It just makes opening it just so much more smooth. So we're gonna carefully lift this up. Again, I don't want this transfer to shift on the surface of my t-shirt. That would cause what we call ghosting. Gonna let it air out for like a quick second. Make sure that there's no fumes or gases or anything gnarly like that. And then, like a Band-Aid, I'm just gonna boop. Dude, that's nuts. That's beautiful. That is probably one of the best graphics I've ever seen on a t-shirt as far as like print quality is concerned. So I'm carefully gonna just pull it off. I could see it's a little steamy still. Again, sublimation, and this shirt's so big, I don't think it's gonna fit on the on camera. Look how big this is. So check that out really quick. I'm gonna bring it back over here. And okay, so really quick, you see this large t-shirt with the 8.5 by 14? Look at this XXX t-shirt and look how big this transfer is. I'm gonna let this cool off for a second. I think I'm actually gonna put it on right now, just so you guys can see an example of how big that is. So we're gonna let that cool down. I'm gonna take a few more questions here. We're talking about Sawgrass printers, and today you just saw a live demonstration of the maximum print size. So this is again 13 inches by 19 inches, and then we have our large t-shirt, which is a little bit smaller. We have 8.5 by 14 inches. Of course, this 8.5 by 14, this is gonna be the maximum print size for the Sawgrass SG500. And this 13 by 19 is the maximum print size for the SG1000 with the optional bypass tray. If you don't have the optional bypass tray, you're gonna come up to 11 by 17, which means you're gonna lose about 2 inches here and about 2 inches here. So 11 by 17 honestly is still a gigantic print. I'm only doing 13 by 19 just to show how it looks with the bypass tray. But honestly, like 11 by 17 is still pretty doggone gigantic. So really quick here, let me see if we have any. Oh yes. So Missy was saying, I'm gonna go back to her question. When you press, does it leave a square on the t-shirt? Can you use the cutter to cut off any extra? Here's what's really cool about sublimation. So only the printed inks are gonna transfer onto your garment. This white area here, there's nothing here. There's no film, there's no anything. So any white portions of your print are gonna be filled in by the t-shirt itself. Your printer, anything white, your printer actually leaves that as blank. So you don't have to worry about cutting it, trimming it. If there's any film or anything like that, you're always gonna get an incredibly soft, incredibly vibrant. Look at that, there's no film. This is the lightest, as far as like weight is concerned, this is the most lightweight transfer on the market. This is gonna beat screen print. It's gonna beat direct to garment, direct to film, DTF, DTG. It's gonna beat white toner laser. The only thing you have to consider is the material. So again, this is only possible on white or very light colored polyester garments. That's all, you always wanna consider that with sublimation. But when you have really cool shirts like these new ones from my buddy Danish, then you don't really have to worry about that, because this shirt, I gotta say I love it. I encourage you to try it. Again, he's not paying me, so yeah. Danish, if you want to send over a check, I will tell people so much more. I'm just playing. I love my Silky Socks fam. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's check it out here. Oh yeah, so about the lines. So with most sublimation, with most polyester t-shirts, the reason why you get an imprint line around the garment is because the polyester does tend to scorch. That's just, and so it'll leave an imprint of the heat press. There is a very, very light imprint on this, but I can already see it's like going away. I don't know how they did it. Obviously they're using a very high quality polyester. If you do find a line that doesn't go away, there's a couple ways to get rid of it. The first thing you could do is use a pressing pillow. So by inserting a pillow into the t-shirt, you're softening the edges, so you're not gonna get a hard imprint edge from the heat press. The pillow is gonna soften that up. Now for something this huge, you could use like a heat foam, kind of create your own pillow situation, and that's gonna soften the edges. You're not really gonna have that issue anymore. I loaded this right onto the heat press. I have a very faint imprint line. I'm pretty sure that's gonna go away. If not, what you can do is you can get an iron and just kind of very smoothly just iron it out if you really wanna get that out. Ideally, the easiest way to combat these press marks is gonna be by using either a pressing pillow or we call it, oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. That was disgusting. We call it the Vapor Apparel Foam Decorating Kit. You can custom cut a piece of foam, which we've shown in different episodes. Custom cut a piece of foam, insert it, and that'll solve all of the imprint line issues. So you can definitely get that taken care of here. And yes, just to confirm, sorry, finish answering the question, there's no need to run this through a vinyl cutter. Only the ink is gonna transfer onto the garment. Oh, that's a cool one. Joellen says you could use Photoshop to soften the edges of the image. Yeah, if you don't want it to be like a hard line squared image, yeah, soften that up. That's genius. I love it. Diane says, do you put a new piece of parchment paper with every t-shirt? And the answer is yes, just in case, even though my parchment paper peeled off clean, there might be just a little bit of ink in there somewhere, and I don't want that re-imprinting onto my next t-shirt. So we sell a huge roll of parchment paper. It's 15 inches wide by I think like 164 feet. So yeah, get yourself a big roll. You're gonna wanna use a new sheet every time. If you're working with a thinner t-shirt, you may wanna slip a piece of parchment paper inside just to prevent any ink from bleeding through to the back. And then just to prove it to you, like this, you know, there's no ink on the back of this shirt, which I love, 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 love. So very, very cool. So again, yeah, so today we're talking about Sawgrass, and I did really want to show off the different print size, because so many times it's like, do I pick the 500 or the 1000? Do I need a bigger size print, or am I cool with the smaller size? Now you can actually see a visual of how those two different sizes look and make the decision for yourself. Because honestly, there's no best printer for everyone. There's just the best printer for you. Okay, really quick, gonna double back here. We're gonna take some questions in just a second. Oh, this is a great question. I am Lulu says, can you do 20-ounce tumblers with the SG500, or do you need the SG1000? That's a great question, and I wish I had a tumbler on hand to show you. On our heat press, on our site, there's a brand called Sublimation. That's an HPN brand, that's our brand. The Sublimation 20-ounce tumblers are short enough to work on a SG500. We have another brand of 20-ounce tumblers called Orca. Those are a little bit more narrow and they're a little taller. So for those, you will want to use the SG1000. If you plan on doing 30-ounce tumblers, you absolutely need the SG1000 because you're going to need that 11 by 17 inch paper size to create a full wrap print for those tumblers. So once again, if you're working with a Sublimation tumbler, the Sublimation 20-ounce, that'll fit in the SG500. Most other brands will require the SG1000, and then if you're going for a 30-ounce tumbler, guaranteed, go for the SG1000. You will need that larger printer size. Great question. So I'm just going through the questions right now. I feel like these questions, I answered them during the talk. If you guys have any new questions, you can go ahead and drop those in. How long? 141. Oh yeah, what kind of t-shirt? I might have missed it. These are from my friends over at Silky Socks, and I've been making fun of them, saying that if I say any more about it, they're gonna owe me they're gonna have to send me a royalty check. But no, I'm just kidding. We love those guys. These t-shirts are from Silky Socks. I really love them, and honestly, I think once you find quality products, you just get like addicted. Your customers are gonna love them, and then yeah, and then it's better for us. The more things you print, the more ink you buy, and the more you come back to me over at Heat Press Nation. So not sad about that. All right, so really quick, I'm gonna come back on camera, but before I do, I'm actually gonna put on this t-shirt. So give me just 1 second, everybody. You might hear a little commotion. I'm gonna see if this, I hope this XXX t-shirt fits, my gosh. Sorry, you're hearing, it sounds like I'm probably rolling down a hill. Okay, and then, oh, you know what, I'm gonna bring my buddy. Okay, so we're coming back on camera, guys. I hope you guys don't mind. All right, so look, if you wanna see how a 13 by 19 inch print looks on a XXX t-shirt worn by a real life human who wears XXX t-shirts, this is it. This is huge. I love this t-shirt. I'm wearing it over my regular shirt, so yeah, so yeah, it's fitting a little big. But yeah, it's comfy, it's lightweight, and yeah, I'm not gonna, Danesh, I'm sorry, I'm not selling any more of your shirts, buddy. But yeah, so this is a huge print. So if you wanna know, again, I'm wearing a XXX shirt right now. It's what I do, that's my size, and this is how it looks. This is my buddy, Manuel, the mannequin, Manny the mannequin. This t-shirt is actually, and I don't know why I'm holding him by his neck. There's not really any like support, so I'm not like choking him out. But this is actually a size medium t-shirt that we printed before we came on camera. This mannequin wears a size medium, and he has no arms, sorry. But if you want to know how this looks on a size medium, dude, this is 8.5 by 14. So this is the biggest size you're gonna print. If I had somebody in here who could come in and model that for me, I would. Manny's doing the job. So that's the biggest you're gonna print on your SG500. This is the biggest you're gonna print on your SG1000. I hope this gives you a good visual. Now, of course, there's tons of other applications, tons of other sublimation blanks. Like we have these huge like 12 by 12 photo panels, or you'll need a 13-inch by 19-inch sheet. We have a few other really big products that you might need this for. But for all of those blanks, you can head on over to heatpressnation.com. We have lots of different sublimation blanks, and maybe you have the SG500 and you want to know, well, what could I use? What kind of things can I make with this printer, with this print size that I have for now? Head on over there. We have coffee mugs, tons of drinkware. We have photo panels, keychains, and again, oh, is this safe? Oh, here we go. He has like little armholes. And again, 8.5 by 14. This looks fantastic. This is a great, great t-shirt. 8.5 by 14 is more than enough to customize lots and lots of gear. So head on over to heatpressnation.com if you guys want to see what we use today. I'm talking about the paper, the printers, the heat press, all this stuff. You're going to find that over at heat.press/live. One more time, heat.press/live. You can find links to all this and more over there. It's going to take you straight to our site and straight to these products. So you don't have to filter through everything. You're just there. Boom. You're there. And then, of course, if you want like great ideas, inspiration, help, or honestly just some encouragement, head on over to our Facebook group. I cannot say enough good things about the Heat Press Nation creators community that we have there on Facebook. It's super rad. So if you're on Facebook, go to the group section and then just type in Heat Press Nation creators, 2 words, Heat Press Nation creators, or right there, you see it on your screen, heat.press/FB group. If you really love us, all right, if you really love me, okay, text the word heat to 20198. Once again, that's the word heat. It's HEAT to 20198. That's going to get you updates on all of our special edition Facebook Lives, our sales, and all the great stuff happening here over at HPN. All right, I'm burning up. I have like 2 t-shirts on and I'm standing next to a 400-degree press. So I'm gonna get out of Dodge. I'm gonna go stand in front of the fan or something like that. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Do me a favor, if you guys are sublimating anything cool this week, let us know. Tag us on Instagram or just drop it in the Heat Press Nation Creators group. We'd love to see it. But for now, or I should say until then, my name is Jared with Heat Press Nation and I'll see you around.